Hi everyone. It's been a while since I had done this. Few things happened in between, so hence the missing in action MIA. I think the last one we did as a video for, I think it was like probably like a month ago or more. And ever since that, me and Carmen, obviously she's not here today, we haven't been able to catch up or schedule a time together to get something done like this. So, apologies to everyone. And uh, so, what happened is I moved. I was trying to have my own place for a while, and finally that has happened. So, this is the first one from my home. And it's a bit away from the city because obviously, if you wanted to build a house, which is what I ended up doing, uh, you were not going to be able to do that anyway close to the city, which has the other issue now that it's a bit hard to catch up with Carmen these days. She's quite busy with her work and her studies. I am busy with making this house somewhat presentable. So I've been fixing up things, building flat packs, and that sort of stuff. Obviously, when you're in a new place, it takes a while to get used to the new thing. Sorry, I was cooking and I just feel like I inhaled something. Uh, so this is the reason why there was no videos for the probably like more than a month. I've been planning to do this. I mean, there's always this idea we have to go and shoot something, but it's just the timings were really hard to come by. And today I was thinking I have to do something. It's been more than a month, so that's enough slacking. So here I am. Uh, I want to dedicate this video to Carmen because again, when you have people like, how will I say this? Like, it's the absence that makes their presence more heard. Don't know whether that makes any sense. So, because I wasn't able to catch up with her for a while and we were not able to do this, I missed that. But at the same time, there are so many things happening in her life and in my life. So it's kind of understood between each other. Like, this is kind of hard. But at the same time, she is going to go and do a bit more study related things. So I won't be able to see her for another couple more weeks. So if I do more videos, that's going to be just my face. There's not a big topic for today. Obviously, everyone was busy. Me and Carmen was busy, so we didn't come up with a topic or anything. I haven't come up with a topic myself either. Well, tomorrow is Jan 26th. It is Australia Day. A lot of people celebrate it, a lot of people don't. Different reasons, politically and all those, and the history. A lot of things are a bit muddled up. And the only thing that I have felt about things like that, which are not entirely clear, like what side you should stick on to. Uh, I know there's a lot of negativity and a lot of things that happened in the past or in the history are quite dark. People were not treated fairly, people were kidnapped, killed, treated as slaves. So there's a lot of black in our history, as in collectively Homo sapiens as a species. There's a lot of that. And I don't think anyone is proud to look back on those things and say, this is how we became who we are. Regardless of that, I think there is a lesson to be learned that if you are not careful, we are sitting in 2026 and we have this concept that, or this idea that we are really at the peak, or we are at the peak of civilization. We are at the peak of some sense of morality that did not exist, and we have made all these things on top of all those values, progressive thought, freedom of speech, and so on and so on. These exist because of what happened in the past. And there were people who were bright enough or intelligent enough to call it out that this is not the way it should be. I'm not saying this is a perfect world. Even today, there's a lot of atrocities that are happening all over the world. At this very moment, what's happening in Iran is insanely scary. There's a government that is, have filtered out everything about the situation that is happening in there. Nobody knows for real because we get all these glimpses of what's happening from people there whenever they can get that information out. Like the internet is heavily controlled, and media and any way of information can seep out of the country is being heavily monitored. So we get only glimpses and pieces, and even with that, it's really horrible. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of things that is happening today. Even today, it is quite bad. It should be a reminder for at least for the next gen or for the future that we don't resort to this. We learn from all these. And the society that I live in or the values that we have are built upon a lot of blood, a lot of sacrifices, and a lot of things that are really, really dark and should never, ever be repeated. But we have that history. And I would also say we have to look at people for their the time that they lived or where they got their values from. I can sit in 2026 in the middle of all this progress and look back at people who lived 300, 500, 1,000, or 2,000 years ago and call them as barbarians by today's moral standards. And yes, they would be. And there's no doubt in that. And a lot of things that they did are insanely inhumane. But they did not think so. They didn't think that what they were doing is entirely, or like they didn't think that they were doing anything bad because their moral code existed in a very different time scale. In 2026, you can't imagine people getting beheaded, or there was a thing called guillotine and things like that, because we have moved past that. Another 100 years from now, we would move past of the moral sense or the code that we hold sacred in today's world. And people 100 years down the line, 200 years down the line, would look at us and be horrified of what we did. And they would think that we were the barbarians. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So, this idea of this definite moral code, it could be coming from a very maybe religious, maybe the ancestry and things like that. It may come from a good place, but it this idea that unchangeable or forever, this code or this is the values, is a really flawed ideas, because they will work for a time and the society will function with it. Few years later, maybe 50, 100 years later, it won't work. And it doesn't have to, because we would have made so many things progressive into the progression, as in we would have changed from it. Like, we have road rules these days. Why? Because we have roads. Why? Because we have cars. 500 years ago, these things were not there. So this sense of, you know, making road rules or keeping the road rules and things like that were not there. And things like that, this ideas of why or how a society should work, how a government should function, what should be the priorities. They all keep on changing. And I find it really interesting that where we draw the line, where we call out on these situations, and we should. And that's the only way that we don't repeat the same mistakes in the future. So maybe 200 years down the line, the generation that living in 2200 might look back on us with a bit of, like, these guys were bad, but they were not entirely bad. Maybe we would get that allowance from them. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say for today. It's a bit heavy. At the same time, I'm missing Carmen. So it's just never the same without her. So we need that dynamic where I would say something and she has an opinion. So then we would, go on with that. So I miss that. But then again, I dedicate this to her as well. And again, she's going to be busy with studies and things, and I wish her all the best in that. That's quite important for her and her future. So all the support for that. Uh, that's pretty much it for today, and I will try to do better for the next couple of weeks and make more videos for everyone, and we'll see. Bye.